going on, y'all? We back once again, Bridging the Gap podcast. Here with my lovely co-host, my mama, the queen of the I Can Do, Sister Rochelle Sawyer, my brother, Malik White, Mr. Meck himself. Thanks for listening. Go get that book. And we got a special guest today. And this is my brother right here. It's my brother. When it comes to the Bridging the Gap, the title itself, he's definitely, you put it in a dictionary, his picture's right there. This is my guy. I think a few episodes ago when we talked about health and wellness, I brought his name up. So he's here in the flesh, community activist, CEO of Project Blue, which I help coach under him, and also author from sports to life. Right here, go get it.
Go
The
get
drop,
it.
Go get it.
Yeah.
It's out now.
I've been reading it. I'm not fully done yet, but it's already an amazing read. I want to introduce to some, present to others, my brother, Mark May.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How you feeling, bro? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great, actually. I'll take that back. I'm feeling great.
That's good, man. It's good to have you here. I guess what I want to start with is, because like I said, man, you are definitely the biggest definition of bridging the gap. And so what I want to ask first is, where did you first find your inspiration?
Where did I first find my inspiration? It's a good question, but it goes back to my foundation. My inspiration was my grandfather, who was a pillar in my life, who is a pillar in my life. I grew up in a household where I never met my father a day in my life. So my grandfather stepped in and became that male guidance, that male role model.
Yeah.
And pretty much, gave me the inspiration of, an aspiration for me of what a man should look like.
All right.
What a man is to be. And it started with him, but then it trickled down to my mother,
Yeah.
who was also an inspiration to me, because I was just having this conversation yesterday with somebody about just how did I get into this space and how did I know, that this was the place for me. And I said, man, if you ever think about it, like when a child grows up, for example, we was just having this conversation over the Laker game and we were talking about LeBron James and Bronny.
Yeah.
And how Bronny grew up just watching his dad. His dad's routine became his routine. Like, he studied his dad's habits, and you see Bronny playing alongside his dad now. But for me, it was my mom. She was an educator.
Yeah.
She worked with kids. She worked in the community. Like, that's all she did.
Right.
So by default, me and my sister was with her all the time.
Yeah.
And as kids, we didn't really realize what was going on, but now as an adult male, I look back and I was like, man, I was being molded many, many, many years ago just by being around that greatness, as I look and as I call her. And so I think that was my inspiration. It was my grandfather who laid the foundation, and it was my mom who set the example.
Yeah. And I love that you said that, because you know on our grandpa, her father, it's kind of similar thing.
100%.
So it's kind of like just in the blood. So when we see those role models, not just what they do, but the benefits it reaps, not just for them, but for the others around them. So many blessings go around. So,
and not only see what they do, but you see how they do it.
Yeah.
I think that's
That's it.
key ingredient, right?
Yeah.
Is the how. And when you see them doing it, when on the outside looking in, to somebody who don't know these particular people, they just see the outcomes and the results. But for us who are walking the walk with them, like, we see when everything ain't always great, you know what I mean? But they still push through, like, they still find a way. And I think for anyone to, like, see that, like, it can only be of inspiration to be like, wow, like, Mom, Dad, like, I see you ain't feeling well right now, but you still getting up.
Yeah.
You're still doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I see you right now, like, not, but you still doing it. And I think for me, and for all of us, like, I think that's why we hold that so close to us, because we got to be a part of the journey.
right.
From the inside.
We always say that you remind us of my dad.
He's
The how, like you said, watching how is, we say it all, like all of us say it, like, it's almost like you grew up under him. But it's
Well, I
the same.
did,
Even
though.
how you
Yeah,
kind of
think
did.
about it. When
'Cause you've been
these
with
guys
us
was in school,
since Shad, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and that PT Cruiser,
Yeah.
the PT Cruiser,
Pulling
the
up.
black, the black
Cruiser.
PT Cruiser.
Yeah.
Like you seen him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I got a lot of time to just sit back and talk to him because he
Yep.
would be there early and on
Right.
time.
Yeah.
So I think like I agree. Like I feel like he was a part of my journey as well because
Yeah.
there was countless times when these guys was little kids and
Yeah.
I was sitting there talking about them.
Yeah.
And he's sharing things with me, you know, I think just that he shared with you guys and beyond. But yeah, like
Yeah.
he was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
And so, on Wednesdays we do the Project Blue, you know, and so, we kind of do our thing. We mentor, we coach them, and it's kind of through sports we connected through life. And so, when it gets to the end, you gather them around in the middle, and you have a little discussion with the kids. It could be about anything, whatever's on your heart that week, and you even ask them to get their input. You ask us to give our input. And I don't think I ever asked you this off camera or even after the program, but when I sit back and I watch you talk, and I'll be sitting there like, man, like how I know it's with experience and time, but I just sit back and like, man, how are you able to relay different messages every week? And even if it's a similar message, you find a way to kind of word it a different way depending on what's going on that week or what kids you're talking to. So like just kind of take us inside your head as far as like what is it I wake up and I kind of put mental notes in my head, or just kind of like right there in the moment?
To be honest, Shad, I'll be in the moment.
Yeah.
You ever heard of this thing called the flow state? In the flow state, we typically know about it when people with sports. Kobe Bryant, for example, like you see him get into one of those zones where he just can't miss.
Yeah.
You know, he's in this thing that we call the flow state, and we all have it. It looks different depending on what your lane is.
Yeah.
But for me, I like to say like when I start talking like that, I get into a flow state.
Because that's what it looked like for me.
Yeah.
You be in such a
And
zone.
I'm not scripted. I don't really have anything. But
Not at all.
But what it is I'll be honest, and I think we're all men and women of God here.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest believer that God is going to give you the words to say when you just believe in Him.
Yeah.
And the Holy Spirit for me, I feel like it creates that intercession. It creates like that. Because sometimes I don't know what I'm going to say. And I'll look back and be like, dang, like, where'd all that come from?
Yeah.
Because that's what I go home saying.
Wait, where did all that come from? But
Yeah.
I give honor to God because I feel like when He puts me in that moment, in that flow state, He's going to give me the words to say. And it's really based off the energy. And it can be a kid who I'm just reading their body language in that moment and see them disconnected or know that a parent is going through something, and I try to create words that can inspire that kid for that moment that can also inspire everyone else around.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just kind of get into the flow, man, and just trust God. Just trust God.
Yeah. Because I definitely, I sit back and I look and one of the things that amazes me about you as well is how you can get so much out of the kids. Like I've seen kids that came in quiet and now they come in open and honest, vulnerable, very transparent. And so I think,
It's a safe space.
I was gonna say that you created a safe space.
I think that's what I was trying to get. I think that
That's
that
what
was
it's
the
about.
words I was trying to use. It's a safe space, and like you always relay that message. It's no judgment. It's no. You can talk to us about anything, and then what I like that you do is that you delegate certain conversation to certain coaches. Like even with me specifically, I'm good with the little kids. So if it's little kids having trouble, or if there are newer kids coming to the program, when I'm there, you'll give them to me, or so.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, like I was saying, it's just amazing how you extract from different kids, and if there's a kid having trouble academically or behavioral wise, you'll go talk to them, or you'll send one of us coaches, take them to the corner, just have a conversation.
Yeah.
And so, I just want to kind of recognize that. That's definitely amazing.
Yeah. One thing about the safe space is that the safe space, we all need a safe space.
Right.
You know, I don't think that's just tailored for kids, but I think us as humans, we all need a space that we can go to and just decompress sometimes and just speak to somebody your truth. But in that moment where those kids are at, sometimes I look back and wonder, like, how many times do they have, and they love their parents and trust their parents, I'm sure of that, right? But I was a kid before too, and it wasn't always easy, you know, going to relay messages to my parents, you know, for obvious reasons. Sometimes it's embarrassed, you know, afraid of getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, you know, just the judgment. So with the safe space, I think, and you brought up how we call on different coaches, you know, because the space has to be safe for everyone. It takes different coaches to be able, because I have to understand that, I'm creating a space, but there's going to be kids who I might not be able to connect to, but I have to, you go about bridging the gap, like you have to find people that can speak their language in that moment.
Yeah.
And I think there's times where today it could be me.
Yeah.
Tomorrow it could be you, but recognizing that and not taking it personal to where it's like me as a person. Oh, why you don't want to talk to me today? What's it about? Ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
It's about where that particular kid is on any given day and creating a space for them to be open, vulnerable, and transparent.
Yeah.
So, and then I always, it's the saying, it's not what you say, it's what they hear.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that holds so much weight because I can be given a message.
Yeah.
And I can be articulating this message to the best of my ability, but it could be a kid or a person in the room who's not really hearing what I'm saying, but you can come give this message, the same message, but articulated a totally different way, and somebody might hear that.
Yeah.
And I think for us as coaches and mentors and educators, like, we just have to understand, like, that it won't be me all the time.
Yeah.
And you have to trust and rely on those individuals who are alongside you that are here for the same cause, which is to move these kids forward, to move our community forward, and understand that the ego has to be removed because it can't be about me. It has to be about us.
Yep.
So the safe space is built around all of those different principles, I would say, to like create a space to where someone can feel open and welcome. If you don't feel welcome in a space, how can it be safe?
Yeah. True.
And with young people, they're only going to open up in a space where they feel seen and heard. So that's the key. Like, you got to make them feel seen and heard.
And I think that right there, what you said, is key.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to figure out what makes that young person feel seen and feel heard right now.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that goes back to earlier in the season where we talked about culture learning, right? That's that concept, and then even tying it back into your philosophy that you bring into the book, right? You have a specific philosophy, and then from that philosophy you implement that, and from implementation you find that result. So can you speak to like how, like, simplify like what the philosophy is, how is it implemented, and then give us like an insight as to the result of that implementation?
Yeah. The culture of learning thing that you spoke about, love that. I'm actually doing like a little series, or just even some notes about the culture of teaching versus the culture of learning.
Yeah.
Two totally different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Two totally different things. And I think a person can be a great teacher or student just of knowledge.
Yeah.
But if you're creating a culture of teaching, then pretty much it's all about you just delivering instruction.
Right.
Yeah.
The audience isn't learning anything because it's all about how good I look teaching.
Yeah.
How well I put this PowerPoint together. Like,
Yeah.
you teach, you're talking at people. When you create a culture of learning, now you're talking with people.
Yeah.
And now the people who are receiving the instruction is actually grasping it and learning from it.
Yeah.
Because now you're tailoring it for them,
Yeah.
with them in mind first.
Yeah.
And I think for me, that right there is part of the philosophy that I use, because in sports is the greatest vehicle for me that I think we can teach life.
Yep.
Yeah.
When we look at all of us up here, you know, we've played sports in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And we're not in the big leagues, right? As you call the NBA, the NFL, and all of that stuff, but we're professionals.
Yeah.
We're professionals in our own lane.
Yeah. Yep.
And we can all go back and look at sports and be like, there's so much I learned from this sports game that helped me become who we are today.
Yeah.
So the philosophy for me is, why don't we use that all day, every day? Like, why do we have to, why does that have to be an afterthought?
Right.
Right? Where becoming a professional athlete is the main goal, right? But the afterthought is like, oh, and if I don't become a professional athlete, then I'll try to be a good human.
Yep.
I'll try to be a good person, right? So I'm just reversing it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing is reversing and saying, let's focus on being a good human through sports.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
And if professional athlete is a part of that, then God bless you. Let's go get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if that's not a part of you, then why can't the same love and support and everything be poured into that first?
Yeah.
So it's just reversing it, and it's not saying that I don't want kids to grow up and become pro. Not saying that at all. And I think when I talk about this philosophy and people, oh, you like watering it down, like sports is made to like make you this and make you that, and I'm like, yeah, that's true. But it's also going to be used for so many things beyond the actual game.
Yeah.
Facts.
It's going to be used for life.
Yeah.
Facts.
So just trying to really just change the mindset. But man, we grew up and that's kind of, we've been programmed to believe that. That's what we know. So I don't fault people for it. I'm just trying to give them a different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
good.
Yeah, just trying to give them a different way of looking at it because these kids deserve it.
Yeah.
There's less than 2% of NCAA athletes make it pro, and I quote that in the book. And there's 500,000 NCAA athletes.
Yeah.
Less than 2% out of 500,000 NCAA athletes. To me, like what that screams is, if we're all playing on the same team, and less than 2%, but the coach is telling all 30 of us young men on this one team, all y'all can make it pro. Sorry, but that's a lie.
Yeah.
It's not being realistic.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's not.
and then I think the coach is not saying that you don't all have the potential to make it pro.
Right.
It's just the data says that everybody
Right.
can't make it.
Realistically,
There's
yeah.
not enough
It's
spaces.
not. Yep.
You know what I mean? So when we know that, for me, it's like, why can't we use sports to pour into the potential of all 30 athletes here, but also pour into the potential of them being a professional something else. Just as like we talk about this backup plan B. You know, what's your plan B? How many times have we heard that like growing up? Like, okay, Malik, if basketball don't work, what's your plan B? Right? But that's it. That's as far as it stops. Oh, if I don't make it to the pros, I want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, that's great. Malik has a backup plan. But ain't nobody sitting there working with him on what it's gonna take to be a doctor, what you need to be doing right now to be a doctor. But Malik gonna be at practice today.
Yeah.
Oh, Malik, you got to do some extra practice today if you really want to make. Like we pouring all into that.
Yeah.
And that's great. But why we don't pour into the same? Why does the backup plan have to be a backup plan?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So
I was
like,
going to say, why is the backup plan? Why is that not the plan A?
both of them can be the plan A.
Right, yeah,
And I think
yeah.
for me, like that's the mind shift that I'm trying to instill. That's the philosophy,
That's good,
Malik, is
yeah.
that I'm just trying to get us to focus on the other option just as important as we focusing on the sport option.
Yep.
And let sports take us there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
And I can attest to a specific example, and you might not remember it, but I do. It was when playing basketball, we was at practice, and
you in grade school?
Yeah.
Oh, we going way back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Throwback.
and,
Throwback.
and we was scrimmaging. So of course I'm with starters playing together and everything, and you have the bench players and everything like that. And so then he switches me off. So mind you, my team, we're up like about 10, 15 points in this scrimmage. He switches me off to another team. I'm upset. I'm livid. I'm like, why would you do that? You know. But in the course of that, he kept talking to me. Like, go ahead, you got it. And then we end up winning.
Yeah.
But in that moment, what he did was, instead of me worrying about the game itself, he built a leader,
Yeah.
right? He
There you
put
go.
me in different environments and allowed me to lead in these different environments. Therefore, making me a person that can be a chameleon in this environment to this environment,
Adaptable.
right? So being adaptable, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you knew the philosophy that you was building at that moment, but now looking back at it, that's exactly the philosophy you're talking about in your book as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, for me, it became in the book and the philosophy, and I don't share this, I don't go too deep in this in the book, but it's really me telling my truth.
Yeah.
It's my story.
All right.
You know, I was a kid that everybody told you was gonna be this, you was gonna be that, you was great, you was this, you gonna make it pro, you doing all this. And man, when that didn't happen, when I realized like that dream wasn't a reality,
Yeah.
and I found that out early in high school when I didn't grow no more, and you know, I'm at this very elite school, you know, of basketball and football, and you know, and I'm playing and having fun, but it's like, man, Mark, you might want to find something else to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you want to be something in this life, when you grew up playing that for so long through Little League, Pop Warner, all this, and then you know you ain't gonna play it no more, and you getting cut from a basketball team,
That has to
and
be
you've been
crushing.
good all your life, and then you
Yeah.
getting cut, and you know, and part of it, right, is, you know, it's overcoming the setback, right? But then part of it was like reality, like I'm not getting cut, like, and I got back up, but I had to really look at it and be like, man, this ain't gonna be it. So imagine like my identity at that point, I didn't know who I was.
Right.
Yep.
I didn't know who I was, and I think it was growing up. So when I started coaching Malik and got to coaching you guys at a very young age, like I always kept my story in my head that I wasn't gonna be the last kid that's going to be good at this level,
Yeah.
right? And then get to the next level and be very below average,
Yeah.
but still good, but just not the best. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't going to let you go out and just think that you was on top of the world the whole time, because you was at that level, but there was a whole nother level of it. Yeah. And I wanted to make sure that you was prepared for that. So when I started coaching with that mindset because I wanted to build leaders.
Yeah.
I wanted them to be adaptable in different environments, because I knew that for me, you know, I might have missed that at times.
Yeah.
I might have missed my moment of being adaptable because I lost identity.
All right.
I didn't want that for y'all.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it was just happening, Malik, because my story was coming out through me, but now there's intention behind it.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like now the philosophy and everything, like it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just God. That was just God.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Of course.
That
Of
was
course.
just God.
So since we on this topic of sports correlating with life, from sports to life, right?
Sports to life.
Before I got a couple quotes in here that I kind of want to get into, but first I want to ask you, kind of, when did you decide to want to start writing this? Was it a process over years, or was it like kind of take us through that?
I didn't know I wanted to write it until, just being honest, earlier this year, that I actually wanted to like put it and make it to this.
Yeah.
Working in this field, I'm a student. I say this all the time, like, you never stop learning.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, there was a point in my life when I was like, I'm over school. I'm ready for school to be over.
Yeah.
School never stops.
So you think? Yeah.
School never stops. Like, if you really want to reach a level of success, school never stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might not be going to class up, 8 to 5,
Yeah.
but school never stops.
Yeah.
So for me, it was always like I find professional developments to go to. I'm doing online trainings, like anything that I can kind of get my hands on. I'm always trying to do it. Like those are the things that I love to do.
Yeah.
So with that, I have a lot of notes. I taught at the university level.
Yeah.
I worked with students who were getting ready to graduate to become aspiring PE teacher, athletic directors, coaches, mentors. So I taught them. So the curriculum that I was using to teach them was a lot about working with children and development, and just the whole development of the child, the culture of learning versus the culture of teaching. Like all of that has just been something I've been a part of. So I've been asked to lead a couple trainings for different people, different schools, and when I'm doing all these things, speaking engagements, when I'm doing all these things, like I got notes everywhere. I got so much stuff everywhere. And in my phone, there's a section in my phone called Notes. I know y'all got the
You
notes in
showed
my
me one
phone.
day. You was scrolling for about
So
whole minute.
what happens is like if I'm in the moment and
Yeah.
a thought comes to my mind or I hear a quote or I see something, like I take that and I put it in my
Put it in my
notes.
Yeah.
I do that now.
Yeah.
And I come back to it and either, create something out of it. But
Yeah.
what happened was I was sitting with a friend and I was kind of going through my notes and kind of like organizing them. And she was like, what is that? You know what I mean? And I started scrolling and showing it, and it was pages of it.
Yeah.
And she was like, you should write a book. You should put all that into a book.
Yeah.
And I was like, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
So I spent time organizing them. So I took all the notes and
Yeah.
kind of put them into buckets.
Okay.
Like buckets, like youth development, buckets, education, buckets, this. And before you knew it, man, I had like my chapters.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had my chapters of the things that I wanted to discuss. And at that point, it was just like I just locked in.
Yeah.
That athlete
Yeah.
came out where you just
Yeah,
lock
yeah,
in on something.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
on.
Now it was go time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was the inspiration. And in 8 months, you know what I mean, I was pretty much into design phase.
Wow.
And
So
here we are.
so you mentioned earlier the book is basically really your journey.
No, so it's
Or-
not my journey. I'm saying like the philosophy is kind of driven from my
From
journey.
your journey.
In terms of like, why do I think this way? My thought
Right.
process, my mindset.
Yeah.
But the book is really I call it like a framework
Right.
almost.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's a framework. It's really digestible. It's broken down in ways that really makes it easy it's for any coach, mentor, educator, parent, anyone that's working with kids.
Yeah.
Anyone that has kids in their lives that's working with them, like you can literally take the book and learn different ways of how young people develop.
Yeah.
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 And I give real life stories at the beginning of chapters and then bag it up with the actual facts
yeah. Yeah.
that go with why that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I asked that because, like you said, when he asked how long did it take you to write the book, as I'm listening to you talk, like you've been writing the book your whole
My
life.
whole life. I am the
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like when you
yeah.
said about putting the notes in your, like I do that now. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a thought and it's the same thing. I have this in the notes. It's like, if I print it out, it's pages.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it. My mentor told me to do this.
Yeah.
Some years because she's like, oh,
You forget
you should write a
stuff.
book,
Yeah,
right? Because
you
I would
should.
like post like my inspirational posts, and she's like, do you get those from some? I'm like, no, that's just my like I have those thoughts daily, so now I just kind of put them
Mm-hmm. You should.
and share them, and so I started doing that. So now, even after that, I just started like documenting any thought, not just those thoughts, like any if I'm having a feeling or whatever
Mm-hmm. put it
day.
down. Just
But
put it
that
down.
when you like I said, and I'm saying that to say like your life is the book that you're right. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And so now it's like we all know God doesn't want us to keep it to ourselves. So it's like you put it in this
Yeah.
beautiful masterpiece right here. And somebody else is gonna like really take this as a guidance tool.
Yeah.
Like that
the
is so
goal.
powerful.
And that's the goal. And I appreciate you uplifting that. So to
Yeah.
go back, like, unknowingly, like it's been a process of being wrote for a
Yeah.
long time. But
Yeah.
like knowingly, like when I finally decided to like just actually make it into this, it's a physical copy of it, right?
Yeah.
You know, I started this year, but
Yeah.
like if you look, and I know you wanted to kind of dive into it, Sha, but for me, and we go back to like understanding young people, you talk about bridging the gap, right? I love the title of this podcast and what you guys are doing, bridging the gap, because you can bridge the gap on so many levels of life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From generations that you guys talk a lot about to cultural differences, relationships, you know, different demographics and stuff like that. So many ways that you can bridge the gap by just kind of being that bridge, you know, being that change you want to see. But for young people, I feel like God has really put young people in my life to be that bridge for them.
Yeah.
The main thing in the first 2 chapters, I break down the brain development of a child.
Yep.
So people like, they ask me like, man, like how do you, I think you said, like, how do you know like when to, what every child, the child's brain has different ages of how it processes things. And I think for us as adults, we'll tend to look at something and it makes clear, perfect sense to us
Yeah.
as an adult, but for a child,
Right.
it's not the case.
Yeah.
And if you really want to help children, if you really want to bridge the gap between generations, right?
Yeah.
You have to study the adolescent brain because there's no way you're going to be able to reach them
Yeah.
if you don't understand how they're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it was always about, that's why I started the book off, the first chapter with that, because I went to a training earlier this year, and the trainer, the facilitator, was talking about emotions in children and how a 5-year-old can't differentiate the emotion of an adult of sadness or anger.
Yeah.
So if an adult is showing anger, right? A child, the way that they process that, they can't differentiate sadness from anger based on that adult's emotion.
Okay.
So that was powerful to me. And I stayed after
Yeah.
the training and asked, like, what do you mean by that? Like that was fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And she was just talking about just the way that the child brain works, like where they can mistake the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can mistake the two because sometimes like sadness will drive you to be angry.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
we've all experienced like death and grief,
Yeah.
right? You can be sad. You can be so sad that you can be angry at things because, you know, it's so for a child, like we get that.
Right.
Right. And I might understand like, yeah, mom's is, you know, she's angry right now, but it's due to a sadness or something. A child won't be able to dissect that.
Yeah.
Like they just
Right.
won't.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so when I start breaking down the child's brain and how they learn and how they receive stuff and how it's so spongy and anything that goes into it, they take it on and it's programmed. Man, I think that was so important for me to just put in the book and let everybody else know. And then I go right into age development.
Yeah.
So now you take the brain development and now you base that on age development from 6 years old to 7 years old. And I can say this working with you guys, man, Malik. Your third grade Malik was different from the fourth grade Malik.
Facts.
For just a year.
Yeah.
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 Man, them third graders and fourth graders, two totally different.
Yeah.
You got to deal with them different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, knowing that, I want to make sure that before we even talk about sports,
Right.
understand how these kids learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got coaches coaching 8th graders with playbooks that's designed for college people.
Yeah.
And then wondering why they can't grasp the plays. Now the kid ain't studying enough, the kid ain't this. Man, that kid brain don't got the capacity for that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that was very important for me because if I feel like we can do that, then we can bridge the gap and really help
Yeah.
people. And like
That's
sometimes
Powerful. Yeah.
you gotta simplify things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know, put it in simple terms.
Got to.
Yeah. So
So, okay. I'm gonna go with the first quote. 'Cause
I love
this
that you
one.
got your notes, man. I love that. Let's
Nah,
go,
you
Shad.
Stay ready. Stay
Let's
ready.
go, Shad.
Stay ready.
You
Right.
got the little stickies in it.
Yeah, have to.
Them stickies.
Have to. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose track at all.
I
So,
love that.
because this one struck me on. It's on page 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's under the a call to action for coaches, mentors, and educators to rise as life shapers.
Mm-hmm.
So right here you say, too many coaches can't remove their own egos to admit that they aren't always right, and it shows up in how they deal with our youth. Perhaps if we acknowledge that we aren't right, we can see that the old ways actually don't work as we think they do. So when I read that, right, one of the first things that came up was the first word came up was accountability. When I coach my son's teams, basketball teams and stuff like that, when we lose a game, and you know, kids take it hard, and so after every game we've lost, I say, look, keep your head up, because if y'all didn't play good enough to win, I didn't coach good enough. Period. That is what it is. And I think when it comes to that word ego, I think it's a lot of coaches that try to live vicariously through their teams and their players. You know, because of the things that they didn't get, the level they didn't get a chance to get to by whatever circumstances, injuries, whatever. And so when I read that, I was thinking like, man, there is a group of those out there, coaches who, and I've seen it personally, where the team will lose and it's you, not pointing the finger at itself. And I'm I'm all for holding kids and players accountable, but we gotta look at ourselves in the mirror.
Yeah.
Maybe as coaches and mentors and teachers, we didn't get enough out of those students and players. So
Yeah. Man, I can go so many ways with that. I'll start here. You talk about life shapers.
yeah,
When young people join the sport, that coach is probably the first person that they give their trust to besides their parents.
yeah,
That's just a fact.
yeah,
Yep.
It's number one. Number two, most young people, majority of young people, sign up to play sports, and there's data on this, because they want to have fun.
yeah.
Yep.
Number two. Number three, and this is in the book, a minor league baseball coach versus a major league baseball coach. When you're coaching in the minor leagues, you get paid to develop. When you're coaching in the major leagues, you get paid to win.
Yeah.
A minor league coach isn't judged off his win percentage.
Yeah.
He's judged off of if players are developing
Yep.
to get to the next level.
Yeah.
Okay. I point that out because youth sports should be strictly development.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
That's just
Yes.
my thoughts,
100%.
my opinion.
I
Yep.
agree.
Should be strictly
100%.
development.
Yeah.
When you get coaches who are coming with this major league mentality
To the minor.
into the minor leagues that should be development, you lose every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the kids get burnt out. They trusted you, and now they don't even like you
Yeah.
because, like you said, these adults are going off these deferred dreams that they had, and now coming down to the youth level and just poisoning the youth level, man.
Yeah.
And I always got to be careful when I talk this stuff, because what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that we're not trying to pour into kids who have the potential to be great and be the next LeBron or whatever it is. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying approach it different.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you're coming in here because you were really good in high school and you were really good in college and you didn't make it pro and now you think you know what you're talking about, well, you still right here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Still. Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like let's get a game back to the kids, man,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
use sports for what it's supposed to be
Yeah.
used for.
Pass that game down.
You're a life shaper.
Yeah.
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 You're shaping the life of these kids, because the things that they're going to learn right now with you are probably going to be the way that they live their life forever,
Yeah.
whether or not they're playing on the main stage or not. So ego has to go. Ego has to go. Your brain is made up of two different sides. You have your egotistical side and you have your intellectual side. See, we're leading too much with the egotistical side because we're worried about how people view us. We're worried about our self-worth. We're worried about us.
Yeah.
The intellectual side will make you worry about the kids and give these kids everything that they rightfully deserve so they can be great.
Yeah.
You know, so I think, you know, when I talk about life shapers, when I talk about, you know, really removing ego and the funny part, I tell, like, you know, you hear this a lot. Man, when I was growing up, man,
Yeah. Yeah.
and ain't nothing wrong with me. And I always go back, well, you sure it ain't nothing wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I always go back to that, because, like, you might want to, you know what I'm saying? But, and that's no diss or no knock to nobody, but it's the
Right,
reality.
yeah.
And we have to be able to have some conversations where accountability does kick in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, sis, like you, that ain't it.
Yeah.
That's not it. And we don't tell people the hard truth sometimes because we're worried about what they might say and what they might feel. You ever had somebody like, just like, you know, they was doing this and you're like, no, I ain't gonna say this on there. But I know somebody, man, where I'm like, man, you need to get that up. You too old for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But because that's my boy, I want to hurt his feelings.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna
Right,
tell
right.
him you need to get a job. You got a family, bro. You know what I mean? So we tend to hold back on that type of stuff, but I'm not holding back when it comes to the development of these kids.
Yep. That's right.
I'm not holding back against
Yep.
nobody. Before we're coach, and here's the thing, and why I always say, like, coaching, and mentorship.
Yeah.
Okay, let's break down those two, especially when we talk about bridging the gap.
Yeah.
a coach is a mentor.
Yeah.
Okay. But a mentor don't really have to be a coach. 'Cause you can mentor in so many facets of life.
Yep.
You ain't got to be on the football field to mentor.
Yeah.
But what happens is, I think some coaches just directly call themselves mentors because they're working with kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You out here living a certain life, then come in and coach my kid at football practice, and my kids see the life that you living, but you call yourself a mentor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Right. Yeah.
Like, kids to this day, they don't know how, they ain't, and I'm an adult, I'll be honest, I swear, right? But kids don't know that.
Yeah.
They don't need that part. They don't need that part, of me. Like, they need to see me for who they see me as.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when it comes to like mentoring, like or coaching, man, I know some brilliant minds of coaching, the X's and O's. I mean, can write up plays, I know some brilliant minds when it comes to the X's and O's on the football field. Some terrible mentors.
Yeah.
So, we really have to focus on this mentorship piece.
Yeah.
And when you focus on mentorship, you'll remove your ego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because mentoring is for life, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think to your point, even with you mentoring me over the years, a few years back I was going through a lot. And you remember you came to our house, and you sat down and you talked to me. I was very vulnerable, very transparent. And I think what helped me kind of get over that and take heed to the words you were relaying to me was I seen how you was moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It goes to what you just said about the coaches saying this but moving like this. And so when you were saying everything to me, it resonated just like that because I saw how you was moving and I saw the results of how you were moving, not just for yourself but for the the kids we coach and the kids we mentor. And so I do think it's powerful.
If somebody came to you, thank you for that shot.
Yeah,
You did the work though.
appreciate it, bro.
I want to let you know that. Somebody came to you and told you, you need to do this to make this money, and then you looked at them and they wasn't even doing that. Would you listen to them?
No.
We as adults ain't doing that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm
Absolutely
saying?
not.
Like, we ain't doing that. Like, okay, so you gonna tell me how to make $1 million,
Right.
but you ain't even doing what it take? Like,
Yeah.
why are kids different?
Yeah.
That's the question I have for adults.
Yeah.
Like, why are kids different? Why do kids get to hear the fluff but then get to see something totally different? They need to see us for who we say we are.
Yeah.
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 That's mentorship.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes you ain't even got to say nothing to mentor. You just got to walk your
Gotta
walk.
be.
The world,
Yeah.
Kids are watching. Their brains are like sponges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they see you doing this, like, they think that's okay. They normalize certain behaviors of people that's around them. Ain't no kid brought into this earth and just automatically is who you see. They learn that from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
They learn that behavior, man. And it's most likely the people that's around them in their village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time for us. We talk about bridging. That's why I love y'all thing, bridging the gap and the accountability. It's time for us in this village to show a different example of what we trying to say the expectation is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't keep going out there talking this stuff to these kids and say, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, and then you going back and doing that. Man, I know some people to this day where I'd be like, shame on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people in some of the highest places in churches, man, and all kind of places telling me every week how to live my life and what God is. And I'm watching, and I'm like, but look at you.
Yeah.
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 Man, kids deserve the same respect, dude. So
Yeah.
And nowadays the kids know. They're smarter. They
They're
know.
smarter. Yeah.
So like they can tell when they'll call you out.
Yeah. I was about to say that. They'll call you out.
You ain't doing this, so I gotta do it.
Right.
They'll let you know. So like it's like you said, there's more to it. Like we sit here, we talk, but then when we after that conversation, what are we gonna do after that? Are we gonna just go back to our lives where we just do whatever we want to do?
Yeah.
Or are we gonna be that living example?
Yeah.
I think that's what you see a lot of people, like you said, from teachers to coaches to all types of people in higher places that have the ability to inspire and impact. They have to realize that. Like you can't just come out and give a speech
Yeah.
and then leave and go back to doing God knows
God
what.
knows what.
You know, you gotta live it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You gotta live it when people are watching and when they not watching.
Yeah.
Yep.
It go back to what you said on the podcast before. The why.
Yeah.
Gotta have the why.
Yeah.
We can
Because-
say anything, but if we don't got the kids always ask why.
Yeah.
Why I gotta.
Yeah.
If we don't have the why or have the example, or not walking that why.
Yeah. So you got the kids that'll call you out,
Yeah.
Yep.
right? We all agree on that. But then what about the ones that don't call you out?
Mm.
You ever thought about them? Guess what they do? They normalize that behavior.
Yeah.
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 And then the cycle never breaks.
Yeah.
The kids that call you out, like they got the discernment to be like, that ain't
Right.
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 Yeah.
But the kids that don't call you out are the ones that's internalizing that behavior and thinking it's okay to live
okay.
that double life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a scary thing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you know. So
So one more thing I want to on the book. You talk about positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. That one was speaking to my ears when I read it. You know, I want to focus more on the negative side first, because I do feel that as much work as we put in as mentors and coaches, sometimes we don't realize when we're undoing that same work. And so I want you to kind of speak on that a little bit when it comes to the negative side, whether it's like you said, favoritism, you know, things like that. And what I'll say is, I was telling my mom this earlier. We'll coach and mentor these kids, and we'll do it in such a negative enforcement way. We're not realizing, like, for personal experience, like a couple years back, I was coaching a kid, and I was kind of hard on him, and he had like a little outburst at me, and so, you know, I didn't really react, but I went home and I was kind of thinking, like, man, why he outburst like that? You know, I'm just trying to help,
yeah.
but I had to think, like, maybe I'm reinforcing something that he's already dealing with at school or at home,
Yeah, shot.
you know, something like that.
shot.
You know, so
Yeah, I love that, man, because it's the negative enforcement, right? Like, I'm not saying be soft.
yeah,
It's not what I'm saying. There's times where, you know, you have to light a little fire
Yeah.
here or there, right? You got to know how to do it. But here's the deal: when you're always negative, I'm being honest. Somebody coming to me, just negative stuff all the time, I don't want to hear that.
Mm-mm.
I'm blocking that out.
Closed ear.
Like, there's some people that come around me that's always so negative to where I'm like, I'm running when I see them coming.
yeah. Yep,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm an adult.
yeah,
For a child, right? I keep going down to this. Talk about the child's brain,
Yeah.
how they receive stuff.
mm-hmm.
Went back to the safe space. All this stuff goes together.
yeah,
The moment you put that negative energy on that child, they shut down.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
That's a fact.
yeah,
You won't be able to reach them. You can be speaking the honest to God truth, but the moment you give that negative energy to them, they shut down.
yeah,
And as a coach, as a mentor, like, now they're no good for me for the rest of the game because all I'm doing is yelling. Going back to you said, that's all they hear is yelling.
yep,
So you got to find different ways to get your point across
yeah,
without being negative. Hold them accountable.
mm,
We ain't gonna not hold them accountable.
Right.
I teach this sandwich method. I learned this in school. It's a sandwich, right?
yeah,
The bread, the main ingredient, followed by a piece of bread. My negative reinforcement is always applied with the sandwich method. Get a kid that I know is just not doing what they need to be doing. I need to hold them accountable.
yeah,
I find one thing that I like about the kid, or that I thought that they did well. Man, I see you out there holding your block,
yeah,
right? So now that creates a safe space.
Yeah. Yeah.
It opens them up. They're in a receptive mode now.
Right. Right. Right.
But next time when you own that block, make sure you drive your feet this way, right? Because maybe that's what they were doing.
yeah,
So you start off with something positive. You get the positive. I mean the rim. You get that in the middle, and then you follow it up. But keep playing hard. I say you playing hard, like, and then you bottle it back up. So now that kid
like
has their mindset, like they didn't shut down.
yeah,
They opened up. they received what you were trying to give them,
Yeah.
and then you motivated them back on their way to go out there and try to do better.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
that's how I deal with kids. I mean, when I know now some kids they thrive off of, man, hold your like you got to know your audience.
Yeah.
You got to know your audience.
Yep.
I'll give you one example. I went to practice one day, and I'll just to not identify any particular program or anything like that. Went to practice, and there was a kid, and he was a little defiant against the coach. Talk about egos.
Yep.
Coach was like, "Do this."
Yeah.
You know, kid said, "No, I'm not doing that."
Right.
You know, coach gave him like 100 up downs. Kid like, "Nah, I'm not. Now I'm not doing that." The kid is going off. Gave him like 100 more up downs. Like by the time you ever seen the movie Coach Carter when he by the time he had all them different things, right?
Oh, yeah.
Shout out. but in this moment, like this was a 10-year-old kid. All the up downs that he had. Now at this point, the kid was like, "I'm not doing." So the coach feels like the kid is showing him up in front of the rest of the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now the coach is like trying to prove a point, like I'm in charge right here.
Yeah.
Because if and rightfully so, if you feel like this kid can do it, everybody gonna think that they can do it. But the coach just didn't handle it the right way. He gave this, but this kid had 1,000 up downs, laps, bear crawls, all this stuff. Kid throws his uniform head. I quit. I'm watching it from afar.
Yeah.
Go to the bleachers. I walk up to the kid in the bleachers. I don't even get to say nothing to the kid. I don't want to hear it. I say, "Hey."
Yeah.
I act like I didn't even see what happened. I said, "Man, you ain't in trouble. Like I don't know what you're talking about. I just came to check on you, man. How you doing?" And the kid paused, and when he realized that I wasn't coming to reprimand him for what was going on the field, he started opening up about how. All I asked him was how you feel. That's all I asked him. Blah blah blah. We ate in 2 days. We've been living in a shelter.
Wow.
Like, he just start unloading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much stuff. And I sat with him. I never even brought that moment up of what happened on the field. My job in that moment was to make this kid feel seen and heard.
Yep.
And make sure that kid was going to go home to something different than what he was going home with. He ended up getting with the mom, all that stuff. But I went back to that coach and I said, "Hey, man, you missed a golden opportunity
Wow.
to impact this kid's life, bro,
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made it about you.
Yeah.
This kid walked up with an attitude. You seen it on his face. You seen it in his energy.
Yeah.
This kid was late.
Yeah.
Immediately you went into, you late for practice, you giving him up downs.
Yeah.
It's a 10-year-old kid. He don't freaking drive to practice.
Right. Right.
He not late because he wanted to be late. He late because of something out of his control. But in this moment, you made it about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you got a rule and a standard coaching a 10-year-old team that if kids are late, this is what happens. And I get it. But sometimes you got to read the room, coach.
Read the room.
Right,
Yep. Yep.
You got to read the room. When he walked up late, he didn't walk up jolly. He walked up with his head down. He walked up with his face. You can see it.
Yeah.
But you made it about you. Do you know that, coach, that this, and he was like, "Man, I had no idea." I said, all you had to do was ask him how he was doing when he walked up late. He probably would have told you.
Yeah.
So like that's the mindset that I'm trying to change.
Yeah.
Where it's like accountability is a must.
Yep.
You could have still made him do whatever discipline that he needed to do for running late, but
Yeah.
you didn't have to get into a back and forth match in front of the rest of the team with this
Yeah.
kid. That's a problem for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So, man, I appreciate you coming, bro.
yeah.
I appreciate you so much, man. We go back. Hey, side note, he started out as my our PE teacher.
That's when we met him with Shy,
Shy
right?
was the first
you
one.
Shy was
Yeah.
your first.
Shy
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
my first student.
Yeah.
2006.
I'm about
Yeah,
to say,
yep.
you want to get a year?
Yeah.
Yep.
2006.
Yeah.
I let y'all figure it out. I was 23.
Wow.
Shy was my first student at 2006, and then Malik was next.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think Malik was 3rd grade and up.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but I remember when you came, the whole energy shifted in that school.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the sports.
Yeah. But y'all helped me though, Shy. Y'all helped me become who I am. I'm so grateful for your whole family, first and foremost. Let's just call it that way. I mean, I've had it all the whole family, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
you guys are one of my favorite families I've ever worked with. But
Appreciate you, bro.
I'm just grateful for you guys, you two young men, to watch you guys where you are now and what you're doing, and to know that I was a part of your journey, but knew you way back then. It just really, it brings joy to my heart.
Yeah.
It brings joy to my
Appreciate you,
heart to
man.
see you guys as men
Appreciate it for sure.
doing what you're doing, impacting the next generation.
Yeah.
You know, you making your mom proud. You know what I mean? And all of you guys are making your pawpaw proud.
Yeah.
Because he's you guys' foundation and you guys rock. So I'm just honored. I'll never get to the point where I'm not here for y'all. So
Same here,
just
bro.
know that, man.
Same here.
Just know that. So that's
We
love.
appreciate
We
you.
appreciate
B.
you, and
Got a little something special for you.
something for you. It's Bridging the Gap podcast, certificate
Love
of
it.
recognition for Mark May in recognition of your courageous work, dedication, and commitment to bridging the gap and creating safe spaces for our youth in the Los Angeles inner city communities.
Love that.
You the first one.
Let's go. I'm the first one. I'm the first recipient of this.
The
First
first
one.
one.
Well, let's go then.
And
First
we
one.
got you the Bridging the Gap T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. You got me a large.
Yep.
I love this
You
though.
are Bridget. You are the ultimate. I tell Shaw all the time, like he is bridging the gap. We were talking about,
Thank
when
you.
we were curating the episode. So me and him, we've had several conversations about the episode, and so we're like, okay, we're gonna talk about this. We want to promote the book, and I'm like, it's so much because he is like bridging he is the concept of the podcast. He is so in alignment with the concept of it. So.
Yeah.
We
we are.
appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. We are though. We just doing God's work.
Yeah,
y'all.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
God put us through
Absolutely.
stuff in our life
Absolutely.
to be able to bridge the gap. You
Yeah.
can't bridge the gap if you don't know what's on both sides.
There
of
you
the-
go.
of the tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and I think that speaks to the adversity, to the good, the bad,
Yeah.
to everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's just continue to be beacons of hope for this world through our work with God. I love y'all.
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah,
Love
we
you too.
love
bro.
you.
Good work.
Appreciate you for coming through.
Bridge the gap
Here's the
Appreciate
gap,
you coming
baby.
through.
from
We
sports to
appreciate-
life.
At Sports to Life, go get this.
Sports Life. Go get it.
Go
Go
get
get,
it.
it. Coach
Especially-
all you
yeah.
youth programs,
Yep.
you basketball, football, baseball programs. Get this book for your coaches.
Parents.
I'm telling you,
Yeah, parents,
parents, leaders, youth leaders, get this book.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it'll change your life.
I love it.
Thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all next time. Bridging the Gap. We out.
Peace.